Welcome to So AmA aka Denise. I hope you find what you are looking for. Thumbs up the video and share. Now let's get it. Enjoy.
The Zenaris Proviso, the claim that Easter must always follow Nisan 14 in the Hebrew calendar, was not formulated until after some centuries. By that time, the accumulation of errors in the Julian solar and lunar calendars had made it the de facto state of affairs that Julian Easter always followed Hebrew Nisan 14. Melitian Schism. The suppression of the Melitian Schism, an early breakaway sect, was another important matter that came before the Council of Nicaea. Melitius, it was decided, should remain in his own city of Lycopolis in Egypt, but without exercising authority or the power to ordain new clergy. He was forbidden to go into the environs of the town or to enter another diocese for the purpose of ordaining its subjects. Melitius retained his episcopal title, but the ecclesiastics ordained by him were to receive again the laying on of hands, the ordinations performed by Melitius being therefore regarded as invalid. Clergy ordained by Melitius were ordered to yield precedence to those ordained by Alexander, and they were not to do anything without the consent of Bishop Alexander. In the event of the death of a non-Melitian bishop or ecclesiastic, the vacant see might be given to a Melitian, provided he was worthy and the popular election were ratified by Alexander. Melitius's episcopal rights and prerogatives were taken from him. These mild measures, however, were in vain. The Melitians joined the Arians and caused more dissension than ever. Being among the worst enemies of Athanasius, the Melitians ultimately died out around the middle of the 5th century. Promulgation of canon law. The council promulgated 20 new church laws, called canons, though the exact number is subject to debate, that is, rules of discipline. The 20 as listed in the works of Nicene and post-Nicene Fathers are as follows. Prohibition of self-castration for clergy, establishment of a minimum term for catechumens, persons studying for baptism, prohibition of a man and a woman who have both taken vows of chastity to live together in a chaste and non-legalized partnership, the so-called virgins sub introducti, who practiced synezactism, ordination of a bishop in the presence of at least 3 provincial bishops and confirmation by the metropolitan bishop. Provision for 2 provincial synods to be held annually, confirmation of ancient customs giving jurisdiction over large regions to the bishops of Alexandria, Rome, and Antioch, recognition of the honorary rights of the See of Jerusalem, provision for agreement with the Novatianists, an early sect elsewhere who had been ordained without sufficient examination were not to be recognized elsewhere, who had lapsed but had not been found out were to be deposed. Mercy was enjoined toward those who had lapsed without compulsion, even though it was recognized that they did not deserve it. Those who had left the military but later sought out to be restored to their military position were to be excommunicated. Depending on the sincerity of their repentance, they could be readmitted to communion earlier. Those who were fulfilling penance could receive communion if they were dying, but if they got well again, they were to finish their penance. Catechumens who lapsed were to have 3 years as hearers before being allowed to become catechumens again. Bishops, presbyters, and deacons were not to wander into neighboring cities to officiate. Clergy who refused to return to their home church were to be excommunicated, and the ordinations of those who were ordained by these wandering clergy were to be considered null and void. Prohibition of usury among the clergy.
So AmA Denise Jordan thanks you for listening and or reading this. If you have any question, you can place a comment under this video.